Module 3, Problem-Solving Potential Barriers to CEnR. In this module, we will review potential barriers to CEnR and solutions to these obstacles. The following modules were created, like all good community work, through a collaborative process that included the team at the Southern California Translational Science Institute Office of Community Engagement, the Scripps Research Translational Institute Community Engagement Program, the Scripps Whittier Diabetes Institute Project Dulce, as well as members from the communities we serve. We thank you for all your support and feedback. The Scripps Research Translational Institute, or SRTI, Community Engagement Team consists of the following members. You are welcome to contact the team with any questions or comments. This instructional course consists of 3 individual learning modules. Module 1 discussed community-engaged research and explained what it is and why we should consider this type of research. Module 2 assessed strategies for implementing a community-engaged project. You can also review either of these modules as needed. In this module, we will review potential barriers to successful research and consider solutions to these problems. Before we begin Module 3, please click on the following link to complete the Module 3 pretest in the description below. The objectives of this module are to discuss challenges that may be barriers to successful community-engaged research or community-based participatory research. We will also consider applicable solutions to these challenges, and lastly, we will review available resources that may help offer information and guidance. One challenge that may arise is that the researchers and community members often have different goals. The partnership itself doesn't lead to tenure or promotions for the researcher, but publications often can. It is important to understand the different roles, responsibilities, timelines, and work pressures often faced by faculty and researchers. A researcher, especially a junior researcher, is motivated by grant deadlines, student research assistance availability during semesters, and by pressures to produce manuscripts and papers for tenure and promotions. On the other hand, community partners are typically focused on completing research quickly, so the results can be disseminated to satisfy programmatic or clinical goals. To overcome these challenges, one should try to utilize multiple strategies to disseminate research findings in a way that both illustrates the impact of research while also meeting the needs of both the researcher and the community. Traditional academic dissemination, such as through papers, presentations, or posters, and community-focused dissemination, like community forums, newspaper articles, or radio announcements, can also be used to build capacity in individuals to answer community questions. Studies can be used both for community improvement and for formal publications. Both groups should be transparent about their needs and goals, and work together to find common solutions that satisfy both partners' needs. Let's take a quick quiz. Conducting CEnR takes longer than traditional non-CEnR. A. True. B. False. A is the correct answer. CEnR generally takes longer to conduct than traditional research. Community engagement studies often require more time to formulate and conduct than traditional research. Ideally, one can plan far in advance to help ensure efficiency and progress. Also be sure to set realistic timelines and goals so expectations are met. Even though a lot of time is invested up front, this can lead to valuable and long-standing partnerships. Researchers advance in their field based on appraisals by senior colleagues and by leading experts in their fields. These appraisals look at research quality and at productivity. The Scripps Research Translational Institute Community Engagement Program encourages researchers to have candid conversations with their department chair, promotion or tenure committees, and professional mentors about ways that their achievement in CEnR can earn the recognition that they deserve. Another challenge to CEnR is that there are often too many competing demands on the community partners' time, and CEnR takes time away from their other responsibilities. As a possible solution, partners should engage in dialogue early on, especially related to the program and budget. Researchers need to understand the unique challenges of the particular community partners and find creative ways to conduct research while minimizing time disruption, time commitment, and expenses. Community partners need to communicate to researchers how to be respectful of their work and their challenges. Also, community organizations don't always have the infrastructure or capacity to conduct research, such as data analysis or technology. Assess the capacity the community organization has to conduct research early in the process. Understand that a resource differential may exist between researchers and the community, so it's important to recognize the different resources and strengths that each provides. We can work with organizations that are research-ready or offer training or technical assistance to clinics and organizations that may need capacity building and are willing to learn how to do research. Another challenge is that not all evidence-based models are one-size-fits-all. Models that are effective in one population may not apply to or work with the population you are interested in. We need to understand the population we are working with in order to adapt models or programs to meet the needs and reflect the characteristics of that population. Remember, what works for one community may not work for another. In addition to incentive issues for researchers, there's often a lack of financial incentives for community partners. It is important to understand the financial burden of community partners. Involve community partners early on in the planning stage, including budget-wise and program-wise. All partners need to be fully involved, and transparency is vital. Develop a protocol to compensate your community partners fairly for their time and effort. Note the investigator can also provide his or her expertise and time outside of the collaborative project as a consultant on another one of the organization's projects. Time for another quick quiz. Dr. Jack Grady has decided that he would like to reform a community-engaged research study. He would like to bring peer educators into underserved regions to educate community members on the risks of tobacco and alcohol use. All of the following are ways that he can reach out to the community to help ensure his research project is successful, except A. Attend community meetings early in the planning phase to better understand the population. B. Hold a forum educating the community on the basics of community-engaged research. C. Find research staff from within the community of interest who know the region and population well. D. Once a proposal is written and funding obtained, he should contact community leaders that can help with recruitment. Answers A through C are all methods he could employ to help his research project succeed. Answer D is incorrect. He should be in close contact with community leaders much earlier than the phase of recruitment, as the community should be involved in the proposal, research design, and even in the funding process. Another barrier is that the community members may not be familiar with how research teams function. As a solution, be sure to provide Research 101 training for community research partners. Community burnout may exist where there has been previous bad experiences with researchers in community-placed studies. Build trust with the communities early before research is initiated. Invest in the communities and leverage relationships. Researchers may not have a real understanding of the needs of the community or even understand what community an organization serves. Get into the community early and warm up the community by participating in community events and activities. Also have research staff who represent or are a part of the community you are working with. There may be research participant stigma around a certain disease or about participating in research. Provide community education around scientific literacy issues. Spend time in communities to assess what concerns exist about research participation and address those concerns in a community forum or by other methods. It may be challenging to work with community organizations without burdening or disrupting their system. Learn about program culture, such as what's appropriate to do in community organizations and what is not, and recognize outside influences that may be impacting the organizations. Let's try another quiz. Dr. Amanda Rogers has designed a research study with the help of a community committee. The goal of the study is to assess if women with gestational diabetes are able to better control their diabetes if they attend a weekly fitness class. The primary outcome is improvement in blood sugar control. Other key measures recorded include change in weight and body fat percentage. After the study, the women in the fitness classes ended up with similar blood sugar control as the placebo group, but require less medication. They also state they felt happier and less stressed than the placebo group. What could Dr. Rogers have done differently to ensure that these other outcomes were investigated? A. Add a qualitative component to the research design, including process evaluation measures, case studies, focus groups, and/or key informant interviews. B. Include these unexpected findings as outcomes in another study that she may perform again in a few years. A is the correct answer. Adding a qualitative measurement would help capture these other benefits to the intervention. Sometimes research focuses on outcomes and doesn't account for or measure the value added. This is needed for sustainability. To overcome this, add a qualitative component to the research design, including, for example, process evaluation measures, case studies, focus groups, or key informant interviews. These measures capture the story behind the research. One error researchers can make is approaching community organizations after research ideas are already developed, which leaves no room for modification or true collaboration. To avoid this, approach the community at the start of an idea. Engage community organizations as true partners. Community organizations may be reluctant to invest time and resources in research projects that don't reflect their needs and priorities. We should identify the organization's needs and priorities early on in the research development process. Work collaboratively with the organization staff to design research projects that will answer the researchers' questions and will also address the organization's needs and priorities. The CCPH, or Community Campus Partnership for Health, has many good resources to help researchers and the community overcome barriers they may face while embarking on a CEnR project. Their site also includes a link to a publication that provides a peer-reviewed process for non-traditional media, like curricula, handbooks, and videos, that can be used to bolster CEnR profiles. In summary, though there are many potential barriers to CEnR, with good communication and problem-solving skills, many researchers and community partners can find success in this type of research. Community-based, collaborative research can be both intellectually gratifying and inspiring, as participants uncover connections between good science and tangible improvements in people's lives. Thank you for completing the Conducting Community-Engaged Research, CEnR, Module 3, Problem-Solving Potential Barriers to CEnR. To complete the Module 3 post-test, please click on the following link in the description below. Interested in learning more? Look for our other modules on this channel. Module 1 reviews what CEnR is and why we should do it. Module 2 discusses strategies for implementing a CEnR project. For more information, please contact us at communityengagement@scrippshealth.org.